you. I get to work with groups at our North Campus, and I'm here with my boy. And when I say my boy, I really mean my boy, Davern Abraham. He's got a little bit of a cough going, but I wanted him to kind of help me with the start of this Monday motivation. And Davern, let me ask you something. Who did we talk about in church?
Jesus.
One more time. Who did we talk about in church?
Jesus.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. All right, go play. Go play, buddy. We're all good. Seriously. Pastor Tyler's message focused in on the first chapter of John. And so we all got parts of the Bible that were are kind of our favorite, right? I have a specific passage that I'm really passionate about in the book of Jeremiah. But outside of that, I also love the Gospel of John. And Pastor Tyler really hit on why John is so awesome with his gospel. And it's because he presents Jesus as being for all people. Your cultural background, your economic status, your political beliefs, who you are, what your family's reputation is, where you've been, what you've done, anything you think that might disqualify you from being part of the family of God. It doesn't matter, because Jesus is for all peoples. And not only that, it's not just this thing that just came out of nowhere, but Jesus has been present from the very beginning. Pastor Tyler talked about the Logos, talked about the Word, and right away from John chapter 1, verse 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Everything that's been made has been made through the lens of who God is, through the active creative power of who God is. And Jesus has been there from the very beginning. And when we know who wrote the beginning of the story, we can have confidence in knowing where our story is going, because God just doesn't pop up out of nowhere. But Jesus has always been present in everything that we see, everything that we do, everything that we experience. God's been behind the scenes or actively working it, but pretty much from the beginning, God has been with us. The Logos, the Word for all people. And you know, as Pastor Tyler talked about in his message, when Jesus declares that he's the way, the truth, and the life, when he talks about how he's the one that's responsible for rescuing mankind from our own wickedness, from our darkness, we see that this isn't a God who's far removed from his creation, but the Word, the Logos, became flesh for us. He knows us. He experienced what we experience. He knows the emotional hurt, the pain that we go through. God isn't some distant being to be observed and thought about, but God is to be experienced, because God has experienced life the way we've experienced life. And so when I think about that you know, our church thing, it's not just a Sunday thing, but it's a Monday thing. It's a Tuesday thing. It's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday thing. And from the very beginning, God has been present. So you know what? If God was present at the beginning of everything, at the beginning of creation, then God's present at the start of my day. God's present at the start of my workday, at the start of my class, at the start of whatever it is I put my hand to. God has been present and active in our lives. Pastor Tyler just reinforcing that God is an active mover and shaker in what goes on in this world. God is an active mover and shaker for every single one of us. So no matter what I'm experiencing, no matter what I'm doing, God has a hand, the Logos, the Word from the very beginning, the way, the truth, and the life is present with me every step of the way. So you know what? Let's go get it this week. Let's live our lives like we know God is moving. I want to thank you all so much